Yeah, so this is about maybe like 2 years ago. I was driving to work.
Yeah.
And I ended up hitting a deer in my car. Okay.
Was that sorry? You had a deer in your car?
I hit a deer with my car.
Oh shit!
I hit it.
That's how you start this. You hit a deer.
I hit a deer with my car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. So what do? I call insurance and deal with insurance. I end up having to drive my busted ass car. Like the whole front end is like pushed in on it. Like I look over, okay, it's not leaking anything. It's like I should be okay to drive it from the accident scene to the repair shop. It's only like 10 minutes away. All right, that's fine. So I get there. I'm like, hey man, I hit a deer with my car. He's like, okay, like there's a rental place just down the road. Okay, fine. He drives me there. It's an Enterprise. All right, sure. What's up, man? Well, I need a car. I just hit a deer. Like, okay, fine. So I guess the whole thing is that they want to get you in like a similar car to what you're used to driving. I guess that's like their policy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, whatever. That's fine. Like I'm super like casual about like I don't care. Like just as long as I can get to work and back in some sort of vehicle, I don't care. And so they end up like him and Han with it for a couple of days. Like it took them 2 days to find me a rental. I'm like, well, what the hell?
Wait, so you had no car for those 2 days?
2 days. I was just
shit.
sitting at home. Like luckily my boss is like kind of cool about it. He's like, yeah, like just like hang out at home for a couple of days,
That
like figure
sucks.
this out. Like I know like hitting a deer is no good for anyone. And so I'm waiting, and finally Enterprise calls me back. He's like, yeah, we got this Mitsubishi like SUV to come pick up. All right, that's fine. Now, back in those days, I was a smoker.
Yeah.
And so I didn't think about it, but you're not supposed to smoke in rental cars.
Okay, good point. Hey,
Yeah, so this is my first time renting a car. Like I've never rented a car or anything like that in my life.
No one told you not to smoke in the car, though, right?
I mean, like I signed the release,
Okay.
and like I mean, like if I was maybe a little smarter, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But here we are. So it's about the same day. Like it was like a 4-week repair. And so I'm about to go return this vehicle, and I was like talking to my buddy. I'm like, yeah, like, and it's like casually mentioned, like, yeah, like I was like smoking in the rental. He's like, dude, what are you talking about? You can't smoke in rentals. Like, it's like a $500 cleaning fee if they catch you. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, I remember this is at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm returning at noon. I only got so much time to figure out how I'm gonna deodorize.
And it smells like shit.
Yeah, it smells like cigarettes.
I know where you're going with that.
And so, great minds think alike, man. And so I'm like, well, I can't make it smell good. I'll just go the other way. I'll make it smell bad. So I go to McDonald's, go to the drive-thru, roll up. Hey, sir, what can I get you today? I'll take 5 Filet-O-Fish, please. Excuse me? 5 Filet-O-Fish. Can you please pull up? Because I guess they don't just have Filet-O-Fish at McDonald's ready to go because no one orders them. So I was waiting for like 15 minutes for it.
Made to order.
Yeah, made to order. They were fresh. They were steaming hot.
Straight from the ocean.
Straight from the ocean right into this crappy Mitsubishi SUV. So here I am. This is like...
Wait, how did you get the smell? Did you spread them around the seats?
Oh, yeah. So what I did is I just opened them up and put them kind of in like strategic spots, like 2 on the dash, like 1 behind me, 1 on the side, and I just cranked the heat. And so and this is like September, so like it's not too hot out, but like
Yeah.
Did you sit in the car while it was being heated up, or did you like leave the car?
No, I was driving it from McDonald's to the rental spot to return it. And like I really hope they don't say anything. Like I hope they think I'm like a piece of shit who just eats a lot of Filet-O-Fish. That's not a crime. And I end up driving back, and like I'm like, well, what do I do with all these Filet-O-Fish? So I just kind of like shove them in the McDonald's bag, and I just have like this greasy bag of McDonald's Filet-O-Fish.
Oh.
I take it, and I like get out of the rental without like my bag. And she does like her walk around, looks around, and she's like, okay, yeah, like a couple scratches here, like.
Did you go inside the car?
Oh yeah, and she's
Did
like,
she say anything about the smell at all?
didn't say a word about any smell at all, and I didn't get
It just
dinged for
makes
the
it better.
cleaning fee, so it worked out perfect.
I've heard of like if you want to smoke in a hotel, the move is to like you know how you can order a microwave, they'll give you a microwave if you ask for it,
Okay.
and then you just get a bag of popcorn and you just burn it to a crisp.
What does that do?
A bag, it just like it'll stink up the whole.
It's the same idea,
room.
it just overpowers.
Yeah, you just overpower the smell with just like burnt popcorn.
Okay. The idea is you're smoking in there, and the smell they couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah. It'll
Yeah.
just be like,
Okay.
Yeah, the burnt popcorn like overpowers the smoke smell if you want to smoke in your hotel room.
Because I went to New York State. Well, I was going to New York City, but on the way there, I went to Syracuse and went
Nice.
to a hotel and like inside the hotel, you notice the smoke alarm, the battery was removed, and the sprinklers had like plastic bags over them.
Like before you got there?
Yeah, exactly. Before
No
we got
way.
there, and so we're like, holy shit, someone was smoking in this room. So like, go to report it to the front office, and they're like, yeah, okay, makes sense. Like basically, all the rooms are designed this way now. They basically are just like removing the smoke alarms and the sprinklers. So because everyone smokes in there the whole time, so we're like, fuck it. Yeah, it's kind of a.
I feel like like checks out for Syracuse. You know, like,
Yeah, you ever been to Syracuse?
No, it just sounds like something like the Bushwick of New York. You know, like the middle of
Bushwick
nowhere,
of New York.
middle of nowhere,
Upstate New York.
upstate New York. Yeah.
That's it. Go Orangemen. That's our team.
What's it? Orangemen?
The Orangemen.
Orange Men, yeah, Syracuse
The Orange
University.
Men.
The Orange Men.
Yeah,
Orange Men.
it's I don't know if it's still there.
No, it is.
It's just but it's literally just like an orange fruit
Yeah.
with like arms and legs. It's like I'm the Orange Man.
You're going to go down. Their mascot, the university.
Yeah, it's like a fruit. It's like the orange.
The Orange Man.
The Orange Man.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were out of ideas or what. Like, it's like this orange.
It's almost as bad as the CFL. 8 teams, 2 of the same name, Rough Riders.
Oh
The
yeah.
Ottawa
They're
Rough
not.
Riders. No,
We're the Red
not
Blacks.
anymore. The Red Blacks, but back in like what was it like the
Rough Riders.
80s and 90s? I think it was. It was the Saskatchewan Rough Riders and the Ottawa Rough Riders.
And that name belongs to DMX anyway.
Rough Riders.
He's the original Rough Riders.
Was he really?
Yeah. His whole like group was called the Rough Riders.
So that was before the Ottawa Rough Riders.
Yeah. Well,
Really?
I don't know, but I feel like that should be number 1 DMX, number 2 and 3 CFL.
I'm not sure how to ever begin it, so I always kind of like just make it kind of awkward, and I say, "Who are you guys exactly? What's going on here?"
Yeah, like
Wow.
Nardwar.
Is that how he starts it?
Yeah, he's like, "Who are you?" And then
Okay, all right. Who are you?
you want to start anything?
Yeah, sure. Hey, what's up, man? My name's Andy. Feeling great.
Feeling great. I bought this thing.
What? It goes all the way to your face.
I was gonna do the whole interview like this, but
That's not good sound. But
Yeah, it sounds not good, but it looks cool.
maybe we get the mic inside there.
yeah, exactly. My name is Felipe, and we're in the band Juventud. I'm vocals and guitar, and Andy is lead guitar.
Just guitar. Sometimes
Just guitar.
vocals, but not very
Sometimes.
often.
How did Juventud become to be? Like, what's your like kind of like vague background of like music and stuff? Like,
Backstory.
like you don't have to like say like, well, you don't have to go like into in depth conversation about like your music lessons in elementary school.
No.
But, like, what kind of like accumulated to like
Yeah.
It all started with the recorder.
I'll tell you a little bit about my background. So I'm originally from Chile,
Okay.
and I moved to the United States when I was 6 years old. I moved to Alaska.
Alaska?
Yeah, so
Whoa,
I grew up.
That's a big distance.
Yeah, and it makes 0 sense. And like, don't ever go there. Like, I had 0 recommendations for Alaska, but so I grew up there. Grew up playing music. Like a lot of Hispanic people that you talk to, they're very religious. So I grew up like in the church.
The Catholic.
Yeah,
Catholic, yeah.
So like I was like
I mean, in Alaska though,
yeah. There was a Hispanic mass
Oh,
in
okay,
Alaska.
wow.
It's very small. But I was like I was an altar boy. I don't know if you guys ever did that.
Mm-hmm. I did it myself. Yes.
Oh, you're one too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
really? Yeah, and my dad was like the choir director for a long time. So I grew up playing music that way. And then I just grew up playing music a lot by myself. And then how I ended up in Canada is kind of weird, but I met my baby mama, my wife. She's Canadian here, and we met at a work conference in Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh wow.
And then we started dating long distance. And then about
Where was she from in Canada?
she's from here. She's from Ottawa.
Okay. Good.
And then about 6 months into us dating long distance, like she was diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma, cancer.
Holy crap, man. I'm sorry.
So, oh no, it's totally okay. So I like dropped everything and I moved to Canada. I've like never been here before. And I moved in with her family, and she went through like 12 rounds of chemo, and she made it out the other side. She's like completely healthy now. It's so great.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we were like, you know what? We should get married. And we got married in Vegas. and then and ever since then, I've just been a Canadian, been living here. And then I lived in Toronto for a couple years, and I was in a couple bands there. And then we eventually moved here. And when I moved here, I started recording more music and like really making a name, like putting like myself out there. You know, like I don't know what your experience is with music, but I used to be I wouldn't share it with anybody, but now like I put myself out there. And I was like, hey, like I'm looking for people. I would love to like be in a band in Ottawa.
Yeah.
And I found Andy here. Yeah, and that's kind of like a short version.
What year was that?
That was what, 2022, 21?
Okay.
Yeah, it was in the springtime. I remember that because he put out like one of those like musician wanted ads on like one of those Facebook find a musician kind of groups, right?
Yeah, okay.
And I'm like, hey man, like I said, I sent him this whole message, like, hey man, like my name's Andy, like I was like 22 at the time, 23. I'm like, hey man, like I'm in the same kind of stuff you are, and this whole big long spiel, and nothing. I hear crickets for like 2 or 3 weeks. Like, okay, I guess he wasn't interested. Like, whatever. Lick my wounds and move on. And then I see him post like the same ad on Kijiji.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm like, hey man, like I just like, oh well, like why not? Like, I'm like, hey man, like I sent you a message on Facebook, and it's like pretty much put the exact same thing. Like, if you saw it and like aren't interested, like that's cool. I just want to make sure, like, in case he didn't see it. And lo and behold, he didn't see it. And he's like, oh yeah, like, what's up, man? Like, I'm Felipe. Like, so good you got back to me. Like, man.
I had a similar situation where I was like, we're looking for a drummer, and then we got a message from somebody saying, hey, I'm down, but I'm going to Sudbury for a bit.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, great, let me know when you come back. And then nothing happened, so we reposted the message, and he's like, hey, I'm still interested. I'm like, well, you should have told us that you were back. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly, right?
But yeah.
Is that your current drummer?
No, this is our former drummer. He's gone to the UK now.
Oh
Cool.
wow.
He's a fancy boy. No,
Fancy boy, yeah.
What's your current drummer's name?
Devin.
Devin.
Yeah.
He's a gem.
Yeah, he's really awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a sweet guy.
It's I cannot say enough good things about him. But Andy, I guess, are you from Ottawa or?
Yeah. So I was born and raised on the west side, like West Carleton area, like Dunrobin, Constance Bay, if you know it.
Okay.
And I grew up there. Yeah, like playing guitar here and there, nothing too crazy. Honestly, my two main inspirations for even picking up a guitar is Guitar Hero and
right.
School of Rock, starring Jack Black. Without those two things, I wouldn't have even been a musician.
Okay.
It's
That's awesome, though.
it's kind of weird, but it is what it is, you know. And
were you a fan of Tenacious D?
oh, absolutely,
Okay,
man.
good.
Absolutely. I didn't realize they were an actual band until after I saw the movie, because I was pretty young at the time too. But no, the movie was great. My mom hated it. I loved it. And
It's a great movie.
yeah, just from there, actually, our drummer Carter, him and I kind of went to school together and grew up together as buddies.
Oh, okay.
And he played drums. I started playing bass guitar, and then we started jamming. His dad, Rob Champagne, he's been playing the blues in West Carleton for like ever.
Okay.
And so he just kind of like took us under his wing and like, hey guys, here's a 12-bar blues. And we're like, this is awesome. So he played that for about 15 years. And a couple shows here and there, nothing too crazy.
But how does it? So like you respond to Felipe's ad, and then like you bring in the drummer that you knew, or how did that?
That's exactly what happened.
Okay.
So Felipe was like, yeah, like I'm just moving from like Toronto to Ottawa. Like, do you know anyone who you jam with? I'm like, yeah, like I have this drummer. He's pretty busy, but I can see if he's down to play. And he was, and we just had to find a bass player.
Yeah.
So so I put out an ad for a bass player. We eventually found Jorge, our bass player now.
Yeah. Okay.
And that guy was just a gift from the gods. He is such a nice guy.
I love that guy.
One of the nicest, most genuine people you would ever meet in your entire life. He is just such a sweetheart. And
he's
it's so funny because like I was initially a bass player, and he was initially a
guitar
player. And it was funny just kind of how it worked out. He's playing bass and I'm playing guitar now, so it's kind of reverse roles here, but we're making it work. It's a ton of fun.
The first song that I see as a single was in 2018. So was that by yourself?
That's
all.
all.
Just me.
That was all Felipe.
Everything on Spotify now is just all me.
Okay.
And that's where we're kind of excited. I don't know if when we reveal the news, but when we're planning on putting out new material, hopefully next year,
Yeah.
that'll be the first time it's like a band effort.
But I guess next year, I think this is released. It'll be that year. This year.
Yeah.
So
Coming soon.
2024, right? Okay.
2024.
Okay.
So that'll be the first time it's like a group effort, and I'm really excited. I think like I don't know what your experience is like for both of you, but it's like it's a lot to put on yourself to be like, okay, do this, and just be like the idea machine, and allowing yourself to collaborate with others and have others bring in ideas. I think is when it works, it's like, oh, this is amazing, you know?
So what was the process between you doing it by yourself and then like recording it by yourself and then recording it as like a group? Like how did it, like what's the difference?
I mean, like one is just like being alone in my room and lonely.
but were you recording like drums and stuff, or was
I would like sample,
okay,
play here and there, but now it's just like I have everybody, and I love when folks bring like their own spin to things, you know, especially when we all share a vision. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt you. It was just like, how was the recording process for this
for this new record?
Is it EP, right?
Yeah, it's an EP.
Okay.
I think for me it was pretty interesting because I can be so neurotic about recording. I'm like the person that takes like 800 takes to find the perfect one, and to really like let myself go into the process has been pretty interesting. But again, like also like letting others into your own art, I think has been really good, and it's been really like comforting for me at least. So, what about you?
Yeah, collaboration is kind of it's definitely a new thing for both of us, you know, because it's a big change going from like recording in your bedroom, like just hitting like re-record on your laptop to like actually sitting down in the studio and doing it live. You know, there's no better feeling than like putting all this time and effort into it, and then listening back to be like, oh, like that's what I sound like. Like I remember the first time like listening to myself being recorded, like way back, and I was like, oh, like that's so cool. Like that's what I sound like. You're like, because you have this like preconceived notion about like what you want to sound like, and what you want like your art to be, and like you said, when you like collaborate with people, you have to like expose yourself and be vulnerable. Exactly, vulnerable is a perfect word for it because if you're not, then it's just gonna all turn to shit, and like you're not gonna get anything done. So it's definitely good to collaborate and that kind of stuff.
Well, what like was it like, were you in like a studio, or what was the setup exactly?
Yeah. So it was a basement studio. It was a friend of ours out in Fitzroy Harbor, close to Arnprior.
Okay. Just
on the west side of Ottawa, and we were down there for I think 2 or 3 weekends. We went down there and just kind of Real Doucette, that's his name. Yeah, he's a great guy, and he plays bass for Rob, our drummer's father, and
okay.
He's been a good friend of that family forever, and we just got super lucky to be able to go down to his home studio and record this whole EP there, and it was really awesome time.
I just love his name, Real. I just love saying
it. Yeah. How do you spell that? Real. It's
Rheal.
Oh, okay.
Real. Yeah.
Is it? Can I ask how many songs? Is it gonna be 5 songs?
It's gonna be a 5 song. It's gonna be actually one of Andy's songs is on it, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, cool.
That was an original. That's a cool one.
3 I did, and then we're re-recording one that we've released already.
Which
it's
one?
The 2018 one, which is like so long ago. It's like 5 years, so it's like funny to like revisit that and almost be like, okay, like let's add more to it, because it was just like me in my bedroom, and I was like, oh, this sounds cool. Okay, you know. Can I ask you, what about you?
What about me?
I'm curious because, and we can get into this.
Right.
So not to like flip back to you and interview you.
Right, sure, I'm comfortable with it.
No, if you don't want to answer it,
I'm totally.
So for me, coming into the Ottawa scene, like it's been a lot. It's been like an education of learning all the bands and like getting to meet a lot of people. And like for me, Stobie is like one of my favorite bands.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. I appreciate it.
And I think like for you guys are like legends for me, right? You know what I mean?
There's a weird thing about that. It was Celine introduced me to Peter from Future of Free. Is like, these guys are, I don't know. There's a word of like a permanent fixture or something like that. I'm like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but anyway, thank you. It's very nice of you to say. I appreciate it.
Anyway,
Okay, so Juventud is also a Spanish word for young. Yes,
for youth.
youth. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So that's all me. Like so I've just used that for a long time.
Can you use that in a sentence, like I feel like my youth is slipping away from me or something like that? Or like,
In Spanish,
yeah, like
yo siento que la juventud de mi juventud se está yendo de mis dedos. Siento como que ya no tengo esa juventud, ya me estoy poniendo como un hombre viejo.
oh man, okay.
There you go.
Cool.
I'm
Nice.
swoon. I am absolutely swoon. That was amazing.
It flowed very nicely, Juventud. Yeah, is that?
Yeah, for me it's interesting though because moving to Canada, there's obviously there is a large Hispanic population here and there, but I don't know. Like you went to Syracuse in New York City, I'm sure you saw Spanish everywhere there.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So like playing shows here, like I was in Toronto for a long time, which is super diverse.
Yeah, totally.
And like even coming to Ottawa, people are like, "What is that?" I don't.
Yeah, Juventud?
What?
What's a Juventud?
Juice?
Yeah.
What was the inspiration for calling it that?
Honestly, it was just I thought it was cool to do like a Spanish word, just with my background.
Okay.
And since I was like already had music out and it was established, it was easy to just get the band on board. But I don't know, we never really talked about other names.
Well, like, yeah. So the whole thing was like exactly like he was kind of well established as Juventud, and I never had like my kind of idea was like if I thought of anything better, I would like be like, hey, like let's try this. But I just never did. So we're just rolling with it, and it's definitely growing on me. I like the name now. It's great.
Trying to teach people a little bit of Spanish.
That's right.
It's also very appealing to have like a one word that's like kind of ambiguous a bit. You know what I mean? Like
what is that?
Yeah, no, it's pretty funny to hear people excuse me trying to like pronounce it sometimes.
Yeah, because I was surprised because it's a Spanish word. I thought that it would be very close to like a French word a little bit, but
it's not.
Yeah.
What is youth in French? Someone told me once. We played like a show and
it's like jeune.
Maybe
it's like a Jeune or something like that.
Yeah, you would think that I would be pretty good at French, but it's just to me French sounds like drunk Spanish. So I was like, what are you saying?
That's probably not far off.
It's like
is that what they say about Portuguese? Drunk Spanish?
Probably.
I don't know anything about Portugal. I'm sure it's a great place.
Are these homemade, by the way?
Yeah, those are homemade, but they're not vegan though.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Did you make these?
No, Reese made them. Yeah.
All right. Today's episode is sponsored by
Reese's Cookies.
Reese's Cookies.
Reese's lovely cookies.
Okay, so I have some questions about about songwriting and stuff.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll shoot them out. Something maybe quick. Anyway, so is there a time of day? Is there a mood that you like to be in to write music?
Ooh, honestly, I like nighttime.
Yeah,
for sure. I definitely feel more creative at nighttime. Daytime is definitely like production mode, like in like more of like a I have to go to work now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I come home, kind of unwind, and like my natural clock is kind of like more creative. I find at nighttime.
But when it's like a weekend where you don't the time you don't have to work or whatever, right? Like
actually, now that you mention that, like there's nothing better than waking up early in the morning, making coffee, and like playing guitar. You know what I mean?
So basically, like no obligations is a good time to do
it. I never have any obligations though. I'm a bum, but it's definitely nighttime for me is my main songwriting time. I don't know about you, Felipe.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah, daytime?
No, sorry. I'm like nighttime with responsibilities the next morning. And I'm just like, I'm the guy that's like up at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. on like Ableton, be like, oh, let's do one more take till like 3 a.m.
This guy's always text me at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, like check this song out. And, like,
did you ever find that like, you're like, okay, I'm gonna record one song right now, and it's like, well, the song is 4 minutes long, and there's like 5 instruments, so that means 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's like 3 hours later, and you're like still working on it.
Yeah, that's it's like a curse for me, honestly. And then like it'll be like the one guitar only, and I'll be like, well, maybe if I try this tone, maybe this will be it. And I'll just like be like dealing with like the pedals and like, yeah, it's honestly like it's been. With this EP, it's been really just like trying to, I said this before, but just like letting myself in the process and accepting like, oh, it's okay that it sounds like that, you know, like, and I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, it's like they say, it's not just good, it's good enough. You know what I mean?
I'm like such a perfectionist.
It's
almost
it's dumb to say, but sometimes it's true though. Like sometimes you just gotta like say, all right, this is the song, it's going out. Yeah. And you just gotta roll with it.
No. And it took like 10 years for me to get to that place. And that's like one of the reasons there's only like 3 songs on Spotify, because I've been so meticulous about just like, no, it has to be like this, it has to be like this, it has to be like this, to a point where it's been a detriment. And like now, like I'm 31, and it wasn't until like my late 20s to be like, okay, just like let go. Accept the process. This is what music is. And
if you don't let go, you won't get anything released. Kind of.
No, exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
like for the guitar sounds, like how are you guys like figuring that out?
Honestly, for me, it was just a lot of like inspiration from like these up and coming like indie pop groups and stuff like that. I just heard it. I was like, wow, that sounds so cool. I want to sound like I'm on a beach all the time. I want to sound like I have seashells.
But was there not like is there like, because there's 2 guitars here, right? Happening at the same time. Is there like a negotiation about like how are we gonna make our guitars sound like cohesive together, or like
Felipe's singing and playing guitar, so he definitely has like the more work side of it. I'm just kind of messing around on top of it, but
But I think you do a good job at like fitting in too.
Oh yeah, like you just gotta make it sound nice. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, and I think that's been what's been really rewarding for me within this whole band process, is that I've tried to have bands, like start bands before, but I haven't been able to find the right people who not only like believe in like my ideas, but also like believe in the sound, right? Because I remember putting that ad out, and I got folks who were like, "Hey, like, do you want to join my punk metal band?"
Yeah.
I love punk, I love metal. It's just not for me. It's not the type of music we play, you know. So it's like finding the right people in your band who like believe in the ideas, believe in you. I think has been awesome. And I'm so thankful for that.
Just a side note, as I'm going to mention, I don't know if you know the band The Fly Downs.
No.
Anyway,
let's check them out.
But anyway, they're like a punk rock band. But when I was looking to like find members, I was asked to join their band. I'm like, oh shit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, but like, they're like an established band now. I'm like, oh shit, it's crazy.
This guy was in a metal band.
I was.
But it wasn't like, it wasn't you.
For a hot minute, yeah. So it was one of those things where I was like, I just want to like play anything. Like, and like I even said, like, again, it was one of those like Facebook classified things. Excuse me. And like I said, like, I will play any genre. And I remember the guy
like a challenge almost.
Yeah, literally. And the guy's like, "You said any genre, right?" I'm like, "Sure." And he's like, "Yeah, we're a mathcore group."
Oh,
or sorry,
okay,
metalcore mathcore.
Yeah.
I'm like, "What is that?" Like, I've never heard of that. And I listened to it, it's like, okay, like it's honestly, it sounded like nothing I've ever heard in my entire life, and that was really intriguing to me. And it's like if you took like Cannibal Corpse and like, I don't know, like This Town Needs Guns.
Yeah.
And put them together, like with the odd time signatures. It was insane.
Yeah.
And so I tried playing with them. I was playing with them for about like a year. We did a couple shows, but once I found like Felipe and like this like music that like I actually enjoy playing, it was like, there was no comparison.
I grew up in Alaska. The Alaska scene is very like metal heavy, which I think also Ottawa is like.
There's
obviously
so many metal bands now, but don't you find that?
I mean, it's hard to, because like I guess like I'm sort of like plugged into like the non-metal bands, so like I don't notice them, but every now and then I see a show, I'm like, I don't recognize any of those bands.
Yeah, it's like the Brass Monkey. It's like metal.
Yeah,
metal,
true.
metal.
Brass
It's
Monkeys,
all metal. Yeah.
And also like Cafe de Cuff and like Mavericks and stuff.
They do a ton of metal there.
But okay, like for the sound, like it's like a like can you describe the sound as like a chorusy, like the guitar tone, like
yeah. I think
I guess like an easy answer would definitely be like a Mac DeMarco ripoff.
Okay.
You know, like Dollar Store Mac DeMarco sounds for sure.
Dollarama.
Yeah.
What would be Dollarama?
Oh, it's just Dollar Store.
It's Dollar Store sound.
Yeah.
You bought a pedal at the Dollar Store?
Yeah. I have people like be like, hey, like you sound like Mac DeMarco. I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Oh,
they're like, what? No, just to fuck with them. Honestly.
Oh, okay. Did you know Pavement?
Oh, I love Pavement.
Okay, because like I think like Mac DeMarco was like a student of Pavement, I think, and it's good.
Pavement, yeah, a bunch of like city pop, like Japanese city pop from like the 70s, like shit like that. Like I fuck with that too. For me though, like personally, I didn't really grow up listening to indie or rock music. Like I listened to hardcore hip hop my whole life.
Okay.
And so like my influences are like 3-6 Mafia,
Oh my.
Wu-Tang Clan, like things like that.
But wait though, but how does that when you plug in the guitar? What you must have had got a pedal that had a certain sound to it. Like what was inspiring you to have that sound?
It's the telly, like a Telecaster.
No, but like there's like a strong. Is it? I don't want to say it's a strong chord, but there's a chorus pedal, right? Is that what's creating the?
Chorus.
Oh, yeah, chorus and reverb is what.
Reverb.
We drown, but like I have 2 chorus pedals on my pedal board right now.
Me too.
You use them at the same time, or you use them?
Like I'll stack chorus on top of chorus just to make it sound like just the wettest sound I can find. Like I want that guitar dripping wet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then and jazz chords too are pretty big to us.
Without like the major 7 chord, we'd be out of a job.
Who are these guys?
They just band that chord, and it's like,
what am I gonna do?
Yeah. So, and I mean, like, I know, like, I don't know. I really like it. I think it's cool. But what I find fun is that just figuring that out and how to fit in within the scene too, because we talked a little bit about. You mentioned like, the Ottawa scene, like I only know the indie scene here, right?
Yeah, okay.
So there is like I find like the term indie so broad now, right? Because I find like even like with Stoby, like what are your influences? Like Annie and I have talked like, we hear a lot of like Smashing Pumpkins in there.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
I don't know, what would you say?
I would say like Weezer. Like old school Weezer.
Yeah, definitely.
I put Pavement in there too. That's kind of like a cross between the,
of course,
stuff like that.
Well, like mid 90s,
kind of like mid 90s, and then like there's like a revival and like the probably even like more like now, but like even in the early 2000s and like like Pup and stuff like that. Kind of like which is kind of like revivals of revivals and shit. But yeah, I just kind of like I don't know. Use the word alternative rock, which kind of like is so vague,
so broad, right?
Yeah, it's like. The Pixies kind of like stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm like even one of our songs is inspired by the Pixies in a way.
What song is that?
It's like Slow No Wake because and it's funny because it's half inspired by Juvenile, the rapper from the mid 2000s.
Okay. I remember the name, but I don't remember anyway, it doesn't matter.
He had a couple songs. He had Back That Ass Up.
Okay, yes.
Z's.
Oh,
yes,
the classic.
All right, yes, I
knows
recognize
that
song.
one.
And then he had this song called Slow Motion. So I just I ripped one of his lyrics from the song Slow Motion, and then one of the lyrics from a Pixie song called I Bleed. And I just mixed that together.
What was the words from the Pixie song?
I bleed.
Oh, really? Okay, literally. Okay.
Yeah. So like, and that's kind of been my whole thing too. It's just like, for me personally, it's just growing up with like hip hop and really like I love the charisma of it and like the performance of it.
Yeah. And
like bringing that to indie, I think is so cool, and just like trying to find a mix between that. And maybe that doesn't like show 100% in our sound, but I really try bringing that in like the performances. If that makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean, there's like I wouldn't want to call your vocals rappy, but they're
yo.
But like I'm a huge Pavement fan. Like there's a bit of like I don't want to use the word talk, but sort of like not like. But more like nah.
Kind of like the Johnny Cash like talking.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
sure.
Yeah.
Like you're sort of talking notes, which is probably I guess like the in between of rap and rock kind of thing.
Yeah, so Limp Bizkit. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, of course.
You're just totally inspired.
No,
Limp Bizkit.
I was just kidding. They're making a comeback.
Have you seen them? Have you seen Fred Durst recently?
I know he directed a movie with John Travolta, but
they're doing like a whole cowboy thing. It's like a country thing.
He's doing country?
No,
well, it's kind of, not really.
He's not doing it. He's like they're dressing up. Like
He's dressing up like a cowboy and like doing his whole like Limp Bizkit set.
Oh, okay.
Nookie.
The last I heard that he was like I think they released a new album. Limp Bizkit released an album. It's called like Dad Vibes or something like that. Dad something.
Oh, really?
It was about being dads or something. It wasn't Dad Bod. It was Dad something. I'm guessing Dad Vibes. Anyway, well.
Yeah, Dad Vibe sounds about right, but I'm honestly not
I mean, either.
a Limp Bizkit fan myself. I can't really tell you.
The only Limp Bizkit I know is like when someone says like, "Oh, it's just been one of those days." I'm like, "It's just one of those days." But no, sorry, not inspired by Limp Bizkit, but yeah, just try to find that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so I guess like there's like an established. I mean, I don't want to keep going at it. But the idea is that like like you're kind of looking for like a really like kind of like chorusy kind of like
for the guitars.
Yeah, for the guitars, and so like you kind of like are working together to like sort of like fill out the stereo sound of like.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Chorus, reverb, vibrato,
compression.
Compression.
Yeah.
And like up to this point, like the Telecaster for me has been. I love the twangy sound of the Telecaster.
Yeah, the Telecaster's awesome. I guess I mean at this point, how many like released and unreleased songs are there for Juventud? Do you have?
I would say like more than
like
10, less than 15.
10.
Okay. I guess do you feel pressure to make more songs, or do you ever experience writer's block in trying to do that?
Oh yeah, writer's block all the time. But I just find you just gotta like kind of just power through it. I don't really have a good solution for it just yet, but
no,
I don't just keep hitting it every day. I guess like
yeah. So you're just trying and it's like nothing's working. Like
tomorrow,
we'll try to.
As of late too, like our last show was back in September. And like Juventud's kind of taken a bit of a hiatus since Felipe had his second daughter.
Baby. Oh, congratulations, man!
Yeah, I'm a baby making factory over here.
but like I've kind of taken this time almost take like a step back from music and kind of like reevaluate kind of like what my inspirations even are anymore, and just kind of like be like, well, like what's like, should we go for like a new sound almost, or to try and like reinvent ourselves in kind of a way, but
right.
Well, because you're saying that, okay, so like one of the songs on the new EP is written by you, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so like how is this I guess like songwriting negotiation happening, or is this kind of like natural, or is it like
it's definitely not like a negotiation or anything like that.
Sorry,
like,
I made it sound very like
No.
I didn't mean to frame it that way, but yeah. Okay,
no, absolutely. Okay. But it's never like okay, here's a song. Let's like dissect it and find out what we like, what we don't like. It's always just kind of been like, hey man, like I got a new song, and then like everyone's like, oh nice, and then like, well, let's do it. We'll try and play it, and like obviously like nothing's perfect the first time, so you like revise it, and then by the end of it you have a song that everyone kind of contributed to. Yeah. But definitely like the main focus of like, or like the main idea of the song kind of holds true for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and to the same point of just like finding people. Can we curse on this, by the way?
Why not? Yeah, go. I mean, there's nothing.
Fuck you!
Yeah.
No, but like to the point earlier of just like finding people who like fuck with the same sounds as you, and it's just like me and Andy like connected on that, and so I think like even the songs that Andy's wrote prior to us even being a band have like really meshed with the sound.
Yeah, yeah. Like I want to say it was pretty seamless.
Yeah,
like connection we had. Like it was good. And,
okay.
Hopefully a lot more to come.
Is there like a favorite key to write in? Like, is there like a vocal range that you want to like dance around, or is the?
Well, we mentioned like jazz chords. I think like major chords, major 7.
Yeah.
Chords there. I think that's pretty cool for me.
It definitely seems to be like a sticking like motif. At least in this EP, anyways. Like I don't really know why either.
Major 7s?
Yeah, like major 7, major 9s, and just like that. Like I just like the way they sound. I like the way that it feels in my hand when I play it. But
what's this major chord?
Yeah, it's like lately I've been putting myself in. I've been like saying I've been putting myself in major 7 jail. So I'm not allowing myself to play that chord anymore for a little bit, because it's like, when like you just pick up like a guitar and like your hand naturally forms like these chords and you don't even realize you're playing them anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, man, like I gotta get something new. My hand just automatically goes to that like shape, and I just need something new.
When you like write a riff, do you write it you write riffs like on with the pedal or just like naked and then you add the pedal afterwards?
For me personally, always naked.
So do you have fear that when you put a pedal on it, it's going to destroy its essence? You know what I mean? Like the pedal is going to add a new dimension to it that
Yeah,
might enhance it or might destroy it.
That's a good point. I mean, like I've definitely experienced that too, where it's like, oh yeah, like this sounds sweet, and then like yeah, like you put it into your pedal board, it's like this sounds totally different than what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
But I guess that like it's almost a plus in that way where you can like
it's part of the process.
Build off of it. You know what I mean? Kind of turn into something totally different that you initially like go a different direction than what you were gonna go with initially.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, like if you like, I remember I have this like Boss overdrive pedal.
Is it Spas you said?
Sorry, Boss.
Oh, Boss. Okay, sorry.
Boss, yeah. And it's man, like I want to love it, but I'm just not a distortion guy. I can't make distortion like sound good for me.
You really want it? Yeah, I know.
Like I want that like Smashing Pumpkins Siamese Dream, super sick like distortion, but like I just can't get it.
One of the tricks is that I think with the distortion pedals is like this. You want to turn it all the way, but it's like put it like maybe like halfway or even a quarter sometimes.
Yeah,
you can't.
That's the thing. Like I live in an apartment too. Like I'm not trying to like shake the fillings out of my neighbor's face. You know, like I don't want to turn my Marshall stack up to 11 here.
But that's all in the sound too, right?
Oh, definitely.
It's pretty, like our sound is pretty clean.
Yeah.
But like I like a same thing. I have like a fuzz pedal that I would love to integrate, but it's just like it doesn't fit anywhere. For me, I usually play naked too. I didn't know that was a term. It's pretty funny.
Did you coin that or did I coin that?
No, that was all you, man.
Okay.
Coined by Kevin.
Coined by Kevin, yeah.
But I think for me, one of the things I always think about is I'm gonna get it wrong, but there's like this old adage of like pounding the rock, and like you can pound it like 100 times, and you would think that on the 100th time it broke, but it really was like all the 100 times that you hit it. And that's the same thing with music, right? Like you play it naked, you play sound, you play it with the pedals, you add this, you add that, and you just like keep working at it. And I can think of ideas that have like started as this, ended up as completely other things, and those are the songs that we play now, you know. So I think that's just part of the process for me.
Are there songs that you guys have like tried to like put together and they completely fail? Like even though you like oh, this song was gonna sound so good, and you bring it to a band, it's like, oh no, it actually it's not working.
I mean, I think everyone has like pitched ideas sometimes, and it's like, oh, let's try this out. Like I thought of this riff, and sometimes if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and that's okay. I think I've had ideas where like I've brought it up and it hasn't sounded right, so I like kept working on it, and then I brought it back, and I think it worked that time.
Okay.
I think like Hacking Darts was kind of like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Well, like for me, it's more of like a personal exercise and trying to like explain myself properly to everyone. So like because like
you're kind of like I got
guys
the idea.
Can't read my mind. Like
I'm not sure how to say this idea, but I got an idea. I swear to God.
No, exactly. Yeah, no, that's totally it. Because like in my mind, like this song sounds a certain way, and I want it to sound like that. And I've been trying so hard.
Yeah.
And I try to explain to someone, and it's just like, yeah, just do the thing, man. Just come on, just make it sound like this. It's like, well, like it doesn't always work that way. So I definitely like need to work on like explaining my process to people and like trying to like work more with people because yeah, just do it, man, isn't really cutting it sometimes.
I harbor like a lot of guilt if I like bring like a riff to like the band and like and it's not working out the way I imagine in my head. Like I don't want to correct anybody. I'm like maybe you could try it a little more swingy or something.
Yeah,
it's like
play it better.
Yeah.
How does it work for your band? I'll say for the songs that I've written, I take them away and I'll do everything. And like I don't have a drum set, so sometimes I'll find like a sample online that I really like and I'll rework that.
Yeah.
I'll put like the bass over it. Sometimes I'll put like the lead. I'll be like, I've been working on this here. Here's the idea. Yeah. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, but try to like find this vibe. That's what I do usually. But what about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like we recorded a demo, me and Marie's, and then I just walked by. But But yeah, I'll record drums on it. Like I'm not like a really
Nice.
good drummer, but
The same idea then, like
yeah,
Most of everything.
it's kind of like it's more about the how do you put it, like the dynamics.
Right.
Like this part's kind of quieter, this part's a bit louder, and then like sort of like Devin will play it, and it's like sometimes like he's playing something that I didn't expect, and I'm like, I don't know if I like this. And then we keep playing it, and I think in my head, what's happening is that he's kind of slowly coming towards what I was thinking, and I'm slowly coming towards what he was thinking. We somehow meet in the middle, and all of a sudden, like after we play the song like live, and like it's been recorded, I listen back to the demo I made. I'm like, oh, these drums are shit, and like what he's done is like so good. It's like, oh man, I couldn't imagine any other way now. But I'm like, am I being fooled because he brought me along to his side? Or did I play it so much that he started playing it my way a bit and we kind of like met in the middle? It's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's a bit of like...
It comes like a wavelength thing. Like we're just kind of like on the
Yeah.
same page. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
definitely cool to see like you said, like you started in this, like with this one demo and then the final version is something totally different.
Different.
It's definitely
Yeah.
cool to see like the creative process and like
Yeah.
where a song can end up, you know?
I've like the demos I've recorded, like I'll do like the solo, and I'm like, this is cool, and then like I'll have Andy do it, and there's like things on the EP now, like when solos are just like so killer, and they're just like, and then the same thing, I'll listen to my demos, I'm like, damn dude, Andy's so fucking good.
Aw, shucks.
I'm so stoked, dude. It's like, but
Yeah. I mean,
same thing.
It's always yeah. It's always the best thing to do is to incorporate band members that make things better. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
If they're making things worse, you're like, why am I doing
Yeah, wait a
this?
second. What are we even doing here?
But okay, I should probably just sneak in some quick questions.
Oh yeah, sorry.
About songs.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, okay, just really quickly. So like the recordings. Okay, so yeah, okay. So it was produced by a fella. Wait,
Real.
Real. He's
Real
the
Cassette.
father. The father's friend or something like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
he's a family friend.
Yeah,
Okay.
family friend of the drummer. So
Out
Okay,
in,
that's what it was. Okay,
yeah.
Fitzroy Harbor.
yeah, so our drummer Carter, his father, his name's Rob, and he's like my guitar mentor. Like he's like my sensei.
Yeah.
Like he's
Legend in the
he's
game.
like he's like a legend for me.
Okay.
So he has been playing the blues and like doing his own thing in like the West Carleton area for like ever.
Yeah.
Not
and-
normal.
Not normal, and yeah, there's tons of he's had like tons of projects over the
Wait,
years.
that was not a statement about him not being normal. That
No,
was,
no,
that was
that's
the name of the
his
band.
band name.
It's not
Okay,
normal.
That's
Yeah,
not normal to be doing that. Okay, sorry.
yeah, and Real is just a friend of Rob's who they're both musicians. They've been playing together for like ever.
Yeah.
And Real just kind of was like, hey, like I got like this like basement studio, and he was just totally like took us in as like a huge favor for us, and like
Yeah.
let us like record there, and he was super cool about it. He's like, yeah, like, this is like a hobby of mine. I'm like, man, like
Beautiful
it's
man.
been such an awesome help for us. Like there's no way we could have done this without him.
Yeah.
Um.
Can I say so?
Yeah.
We recorded with Real.
Yeah.
It's mixed by Rob Veluso, who's the drummer for No Hits.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Wait. Oh yeah. He just sound at Live on Elgin.
Yeah. Shout out Rob,
Yeah, Rob, what up?
beautiful man. And then it's gonna be mastered by this fella called Andrew Fields, who is out in Toronto, who I've known for a bit. So
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
yeah. So I guess can we like reveal the details?
Yeah. Go ahead and reveal. Yeah. Definitely. Why not?
Okay, I did a whole thing, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
I'm not sure what details you're talking about.
I'll show you.
Okay.
So we got breaking news on Meowing the Abyss, right?
Yeah. Meowing into the abyss.
Into
Yeah.
the Abyss.
Yeah.
This is breaking news. This is where
You've heard
Ottawa
it here
music.
first.
Yeah, this is where Ottawa music happens.
Okay. This is like wherever everybody goes to break any kind of album they're going to release or
It'll
whatever.
never
right?
be the
Yeah,
same.
yeah. So
They all want to come here and
so we've talked about it for a while. Like Juventud, we're releasing an EP, and it's going to change your life. It might not. So,
you came up with that really quickly. Like, it's
Yeah.
gonna change your night. It may not.
sorry, but I wanted to add that in. So we're planning to release an EP. It's going to happen March 1st Title's still to be decided. We need to figure that out.
I guess so. That would be important. Title would be good.
And on March 2nd, the next day, that Saturday, we're going to be playing a show, an EP release show at the Rainbow with Kevin over here.
With a really sick band named Stovey.
Yeah, we're going to be playing with Stovey.
Caspian's going to be there.
Caspian as well, and someone else to be announced soon. So really stoked to do that. Thank you for hopping on.
Mm-hmm.
I think Stovey was like our second show we played with you guys at Clipsaw, like a year ago around this time. So,
it was the Christmas show. Yeah,
Christmas show. So it's just, and I think like for me, putting the show together with Sean from Structure Sonic.
Yeah, Sean.
I was thinking like I love just the process of us being in Ottawa. I really wanted to tap into folks who we've played with already as part of the process. So we played with you in, like I said, in December, and we played with Caspian in March at House of Targ last year, because it's 2024 now. And like hopefully someone else that I'm talking to. But I just wanted to do that because it's been a journey really for us to come into the scene, and everyone's been so welcoming and so nice. So yeah, we're really excited about that. So March 1st, let me do the air horn again.
I was okay. But also like, so there's a single being released beforehand, right?
Yeah. Whenever this episode drops, but our first single for the EP is coming out January 5th, which is a Friday. And that song is called Degenerate Dirtbag. So.
Okay, so for that song,
if
I may ask, who is the Degenerate Dirtbag?
Oh yeah,
is
that's a great question, Kevin.
That's if you really think about it, that's an existential question.
There's a little bit of Degenerate Dirtbag in all of us, isn't
there? No, I think for that it's just for me. I wrote that song, but it was just like. For fun, really. I think it.
Well, I think. Sorry. I mean, to interrupt, but I said that you. I think you referred to the band as Degenerate Dirtbags before.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Continue. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah. So I'll say that when I really started the band, I really like the idea of just like of indie bands just being like fucking
dirtbags,
just like whatever, like almost in the same vein as like slacker rock, which I think like we kind of fit into a little bit. So that was the idea behind it, and it's just like it's funny to say. People are like, why do you call yourselves that? And it's just like it's just funny. Like it's a so what I say is that it's like music for degenerates and dirtbags. And then when I was writing the song, I was like, I'll just smash these two together.
Oh, okay.
So the song isn't necessarily about anyone, but there are some personal anecdotes in there, but I can't share on this podcast because
you'd be sued.
I'll be sued, yeah, pretty much. So,
okay, the idea of ending this song with a guitar solo.
Oh yeah.
Whose idea was that? And like it's really
that
cool.
was all Felipe.
Yeah, that was me. And like it was like the same thing where like I wrote one for a demo originally, and I was like, Andy, can you do a solo? And then he just fucking rips it.
I was like, I'll see what I can do. And
and like I really like I know there's like the structural process of songwriting of like verse, chorus, chorus, and then you end with like the verse or whatever. But just like ending with that, I thought was really cool. As just like a statement, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So
that's awesome.
This guy rocks.
Yeah, I guess I should. Okay, I'll try to wrap it up really quickly because we're getting towards the end here.
Oh shit! No, let's do 80 more minutes. Wait, did you say you had on your Weezer podcast, which you should subscribe to? Yeah. What's that one called?
That's called In the Weeds with Weezer. I keep wanting to say Into the Weeds, but I think it's In the Weeds with Weezer.
And you said you did like an 8-hour episode or something like that?
No, I just thought when we record them, we do 2 at a time.
Okay.
And they're about like 3 hours a piece.
Wow.
And so like we take a bathroom break and stuff. So that's like 6 hours. So, yeah. So Sandy and Liam from Guest Room Status, they're like just sitting across from me. And we just like talk for that long. And we haven't done it since like July, but yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you guys just like, man, Buddy Holly is a great song, and then you just talk, or do you go through like each?
We go through each song and we like shit on them. Like, I didn't like this song. I don't like this problem. And yeah, it's kind of like when you get really into like into a band, you kind of like.
Oh yeah, totally. And it sounds like you're really inspired by them too. Which helps.
Yeah. Like I'm more inspired by the first like 2 albums, and then like after that, I'm much more just like giving them shit the whole time, I guess. But
I think that's just the overall Weezer experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So,
But-
is your favorite? Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm like diverging here.
yeah, it's all good.
Blue Album #1.
I put Pinkerton as number 1.
Yeah, you know what? Me too, man. Me too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you're a blue number 1.
I'm a blue guy.
Yeah.
It's
Jeez,
I
you have to give
love-
us someone, you know.
I just love like the trajectory of Pinkerton of just when it was released, how bad it was shit on, and how it's just like completely come around as a
Critically
masterpiece.
acclaimed.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool, and it just really says a lot about music journalism in general. But yeah, like Pinkerton is like definitely up there.
But yeah, no, I and it's no hate towards blue. It's not like I like blue shit. It's like
No, it's 1 and 2.
It's like blue is here, and then like Pinkerton's like here. You know?
Just a smidge, yeah.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure,
like
man,
I
for
love
sure.
them both. They're
Pork
great.
and beans, though.
Yeah. Love me some pork and beans.
But yeah, it's just for me. I just like that. But when I like get things mixed, I want them to get mixed like the Blue Album. I want it to be like sounding like really like simple and like. Anyway, well, okay. I'll just like at the end here, I'm just gonna ask some quick questions about the songs here.
Sure.
Totally.
The song "Crushing Hard." I brought it up already. Is I hear a bit of a Pavement influence. Is that possible?
No, totally. Yeah, that was about my lady. That was about my wife back in the day when I first met her. And you just like you get like these explosion of feelings that are like love bomb, and that just like came out of me. And it's actually pretty funny because I mentioned earlier how I've been like it's been like 10 years of like trying to record music. I hate this, and then quitting, and then almost meeting her was what was the interesting experience of like, oh shit, like all this is coming out of me through this experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I the record crackle in that recording?
Yeah.
Was that like? Is that because the recording was that way, or did you add it? Did you
No,
add it in?
It was that way.
Really? So
It was shitty.
Really?
it was.
I didn't even know that. I'm like, man, this guy put in this like definitely after.
No,
Really? So what were you using?
it was what's it called? Those two big things.
Gramophone or something.
What? When they first invented like a microphone?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
That's what it sounds like, anyways. I'm sorry.
What are
Pardon me.
those recording things that are like too big, play to play or
Oh, reel to reel.
reel to reel?
You were using one of those?
Yeah,
No
for
way.
that one.
What? That's like you should keep you. They're supposed to have a really nice.
I don't
like, warm
have. That was
sound.
in Alaska.
Oh, you use one of those? Wow. Okay, crazy.
Yeah.
I never had the opportunity to use.
Yeah, that's actually state of the art technology for Alaska.
Yeah. That's how far behind they
AK,
are.
baby.
They weren't able to like get a plane to like bring modern recording equipment.
Yeah, they
up.
just got the CD like 2 years ago.
It's all being freaking wolves are like on sleds or
Yeah,
Yeah.
dog sleds.
The dog
getting up
sleds,
there.
We just found out Kurt Cobain died last year. It was like
Oh, really?
shocking news. Yeah.
You're like on another planet. Like news travels very slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you guys hear about Napster?
What was I gonna say? Those sucking digital sounds. So,
Oh yeah, I
The-
added that. Later.
okay, where do those sounds come from?
I think that's just from the Ableton library, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, Felipe, but isn't that just like the sound of like a tube
Yeah.
back and tube on and off? Like
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it was-
What do you record with? Are you an Ableton guy?
oh no, I
Pro
just
Tools.
use GarageBand.
GarageBand.
Whoa.
No, but I don't. I send myself to be mixed by somebody else.
Oh, okay.
But when you record,
When I record, I just use it's all this on GarageBand. Like
Okay.
this thing right here, and so this thing can record up to 8 tracks. So
Nice.
it covers the drums, and then you record guitars on single tracks.
oh, that's awesome.
That's a sweet rig.
GarageBand rules, and I feel like it's underrated. I think Grimes, the Canadian artist,
yeah.
she started on GarageBand. Like her first album was on.
Oh,
GarageBand.
okay,
It's so
yeah.
cool. Anyway,
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'm doing, so I send it to somebody. I send it to somebody else to be mixed, but I'm like I try to capture the sound.
no,
of it.
yeah, exactly. Same.
I was gonna say, in the song "No Slow Wake." First of all, the meaning of that song.
It's a little complicated.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if you want to get into it or not.
No, I can't. So, I mentioned that I lived in Toronto for a while
Yeah.
And basically what happened is that we found out that my wife was pregnant,
Oh.
and like it was a surprise.
Oh, surprise.
And like
surprise.
I think at the time, like it was like I was like still relatively young. I was like living in downtown Toronto, like living like my degenerate lifestyle, if that makes sense. And it was just like it just hit me like with a ton of bricks of like the realization of like how responsibilities change and your life is changing because of this. And like I didn't know at the time what I don't know if you have. I'm assuming you don't have kids.
No, we're gonna have a kid though, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
Just found out it's a boy today. Yeah.
Hey, no way.
Oh, really?
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh, I think even just in general, like you're having.
Yeah. Okay.
That's breaking news. That's the second breaking news
It's
of the
breaking news in the last 12 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah.
Congratulations.
I'll be joining you in the Fathers Club. Yes.
Well, and maybe you didn't feel like this, but for me, it was like, really like, oh my God, like what's happening in my life? My life is changing forever.
Yeah.
And it got so bad that I got like Bell's palsy, where like my face like froze up from the stress of this because I was like so freaked out.
But how is that like? What is the medical like medically? Is your spine like pinching your nerves? Like
no,
what's happening?
It's technically I forget what it is, but it's like an infection basically.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's due to like poor health, and I think like at the time I was like so stressed out that it like really affected me.
It's like almost like a nervous breakdown kind of thing.
Pretty much.
Like a physical breakdown.
And like
crazy.
in retrospect, I was like way overreacting. Like I love my kids now. Like I could not imagine my life without them.
Yeah.
Shout out my kids. But in that moment, like it was just like what that song was is just like like almost coming to terms with the acceptance that like your life is changing and like me trying to like slow down time and like really be like, no, I'm not ready for this.
Yeah, like you want to do some more things before this happens, right?
Yeah. So like it was a really like trying to figure that out. And again, like I talked about like my past influences. I'll share with you later, like Juvenile and the Pixies, and like bringing that to. So it was like almost like a dynamic of all those three things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So because the idea is that it's like there's no wave that's going to come very slowly. It's going to hit you right in the face.
Yeah. So it was almost like a reality.
I also wondered. I hope you find it soon. All of your salad years.
Yeah.
It strikes me as the Mac DeMarco of salad days. Is that coincidental?
That's when it's yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Salad year is just like in the salad years means like your youth, right? So in there,
Yeah.
I'm just like reflecting on like I hope that I can still like find those that youth that I'm like searching for, but I'm not because I'm experiencing this whole new chapter in my life.
Okay.
That makes sense. Thanks for like digging into the lyrics. This is like you're like Nardwar, man.
Yeah, I mean, when Nardwar does stuff like his guests are like, "How did you know that?
How'd you know that?" Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this wasn't too hard to do.
I know that, but it's that's really cool.
I listened to everything. I listened to very carefully.
I saw this thing on Nardwar where it's like you don't want Nardwar to be like the witness at your trial because he'll be like, yeah, you actually like murdered that person. Like I know because he knows everything. Anyway.
So thank you guys for coming by and.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us over. This has been great.
Thank you for doing this. I think it goes back to my comment about just like the community here and just having like a platform like this is really awesome for artists. So thank you for like taking the lead on that.
Okay,
you deserve a ton of praise for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And you guys have to do me the favor of remaining together as a band.
Yeah, long enough. Yeah.
Because the worst thing in the world is that you do a podcast and then by the time you release it, they've broken up. So don't break up, right?
I got some beef with Andy.
Oh, don't worry, buddy. We're getting into it.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, just real quick. March 1st, EP coming out. March 2nd with Stovey.
Mm-hmm.
In attendance. The Legends. Ottawa Legends.
Oh, yeah, the Legends.
Let me do the air horn one more time. Anyway, thanks for having us, Kevin. This has been awesome.
Thank you for coming by, man.